In East Africa, the Ugandan government has started a novel project that turns common license plates into advanced tracking devices, a move that has sparked debate and privacy concerns. Uganda's Intelligent Transport Monitoring System, which went live on November 1st, intends to transform traffic surveillance by fusing it with cutting-edge technology. Uganda's Data Protection and Privacy Act of 2019 provides for collecting personal data under the pretext of national security. Meanwhile, Human Rights Watch is calling on the Ugandan government to scrap the system. Since 2018, the Ugandan government has progressively expanded its surveillance capacity in its response to a series of killings of high-profile people in the country. And to talk about these, I'm being joined on the news by Noma Masiko Mpaka, a researcher at Human Rights Watch. Good afternoon. Glad to have you join me.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your viewers and listeners.
Fantastic. Now, in your opinion, how does surveillance system infringe upon citizens' privacy rights and violates their fundamental human rights?
Well, in Uganda, this new surveillance system will virtually allow the government to keep tags on every single vehicle and its location in the country. And what I think is important to note, particularly in terms of privacy rights, is that people have the right to keep their locations to themselves, and the system will take away these rights. And really, I think what we're concerned about as Human Rights Watch is the risk of being tracked down by not only government, but other private actors or companies that could exploit, that could harm or utilize, the information that they require in a way that, citizens in Uganda would not have consented to.
Now, talking about citizens, apologies, Noma, just to quickly chip in there, has there been, any sort of transparency or public consultation, for instance, regarding the implementation of surveillance system? Whereby citizens were given the opportunity to voice their concerns or even provide consent?
No. So there was very, very little public scrutiny and transparency into the system, and really when we had conversations as well with the Deputy Parliament Speaker, and he announced that this was a classified project, and it was assigned under the classified committee, and whose report has not even been made public. So I think not only has there been limited public scrutiny and transparency on the system, but I think also there is little knowledge on even how the system works, at least from the side of the public. And that, of course, is very problematic, even on issues around, citizens' rights to information.
Noma, talk to me about what could be the likely potential, let's look at the potential risks for individuals and communities resulting from a surveillance system when looking at privacy and human rights.
Yeah. So, I think as I indicated earlier, so there's the risk of being tracked. And it's not only government, because we know that it's not only the government that would have access to the system, it's also the contracted Russian company. So I think our concern is around, firstly, the issue around tracking, which should not only be limited to the government, but also other parties. And the fact that this information could be used, could be exploited, could be utilized in a way that people don't want it to be, right? But I think also we're concerned about the fact that, because we know in the past that, surveillance has been used surveillance systems have been used to surveil opposition's supporters and protesters. For example, we know before the elections in 2020, CCTV footage was utilized to locate alleged protesters. So as HRW, we're concerned about this issue, while the government states that this is an issue around security, but we believe that the Ugandan government needs to really up its security management processes, and really we're calling for this whole system to be scrapped. It's an overreach.
And that's a fine place to wrap up. Thank you so much for your time on the news, Noma Masiko Mpaka, researcher at Human Rights Watch. Thank you so much.